fist for Mother Earth.
In early July 2011, the Bayanihan Foundation Worldwide and the Alliance for Bases Cleanup embarked on a documentation of the former U.S. bombing range of the former Clark Air Force Base in Santa Juliana, Tarlac, called Crow Valley Bombings and Gunnery Range, which covered approximately 18,000 hectares. It was the main bombing range of the U.S. Army in the Western Pacific. In the villages across the former Subic Naval Base, Kinabuksan, codenamed Red Beach, and Agusuhin, codenamed Green Beach, were the bombing range of the U.S. Navy and Marines. On September 16, 1991, the Philippine Senate voted not to renew the lease on the U.S. military bases in the Philippines. Today, 20 years after, behind the serene beauty of the beaches, mountains, and valleys of the Philippines lurk unexploded ordnance, or UXOs, that continue to endanger the lives of Filipino families and children.
I will dance in the street, raise my fist till we say Mother Earth. I will dance in the street, raise my fist till we say Mother Earth.
The dangers and sufferings continue to haunt the villages in the former bombing range, with stories of harm and death from the bombing range like that of Erlinda Garcia Morales, who resides near Crow Valley in Santa Juliana, Tarlac. One early morning in 1974, Erlinda was walking with her husband by the river towards the mountain to gather products that they could sell. Suddenly, a bomb dropped. She lost consciousness and found out later that she and her husband both lost their left legs to the explosion of a misguided bomb. They didn't seek help from the U.S. military. They did not know whom to approach. They were not told that there was going to be a target practice. Erlinda says that it is so difficult for a married couple with 4 children to have disability. Until now, her husband still goes up to the mountains to look for livelihood, even if he lost his left leg. She was worried about his condition in light of the swollen river that he has to cross. Her only request from the U.S. is for a little bit of help in the midst of their poverty.
Anong nararamdaman niyo sa nangyari sa inyo? Siyempre po masakit, mahirap dahil sa nangyari sa amin. Sa aming mag-asawa.
Sa ngayon po na kayong dalawang mag-asawa ay wala nang parehong mga paa. Paano ho kayo nabubuhay ngayon?
Ito nga ho, talagang hirap na hirap kami.
Okay.
Sa tingin ninyo, kung hindi nangyari sa inyo yan, hindi kayo mag-iira? Maaari ho. Kasi iba ho yung may kapansanan at saka yung walang kapansanan na naghahanap buhay. Katulad yung asawa ko, nandun ngayon. Hindi namin alam kung ano ang nangyayari sa kanya.
Ibig niyo hong sabihin kahit naputol na ang kanya, umaakyat pa rin siya sa bundok?
Oo, umaakyat sa bundok. Kaya, naawa rin ako sa asawa ko. Dahil hanggang ngayon, talagang tinitiis niyang umakyat sa bundok kahit may kapansanan.
Ilan taon na po yung asawa niyo?
63 ho sa 29, itong yun.
Ngayon po, anong kahilingan nyo? Kayo na biktima ng bomba ng Amerikano, anong kahilingan nyo ngayon sa Amerika sa nangyari sa inyo? Yung epekto niyan sa inyong kabuhayan, sa inyong pamilya?
Sana po, kung kahit kunting tulong lang para sa mga pamilya namin.
Aquilino Layog was walking when a bomb dropped from a plane 5 meters away from him. Sand exploded in his eyes, then he lost consciousness and found out later that his left eye could barely see. Phoebe Sumawang, whose husband and young son were wounded by unexploded bombs. She suffered from nervous breakdowns and deafness from the noise of exploding bombs and low-lying planes in Crow Valley. The villages close to the bombing ranges became dangerous playgrounds to the children. Michael de la Cruz, now 30 years old, was hit by shrapnels from a bomb that exploded while he was playing, while his grandmother was building a fire to warm them up one cold early morning in Santa Juliana near Crow Valley. When he was 4 years old, while making a fire with his grandmother in their front yard to warm them up, a bullet exploded and he was hit on his left leg by a shrapnel. After that, he could not walk for a year and was on wheelchair. Until now, when it's cold, the spot which was hit still hurts. He could not pass medical exams to find a job because of the large scar on his leg. Likewise, at Agusuhin, or Green Beach, a 12-year-old boy, while playing, picked up the shell of an Armalite bullet from the ground, got the gunpowder out, and mixed it with hot sauce. This exploded into his hand and his whole body. He stopped schooling for a month. Richard Nipay was 11 years old in 1986 when he picked up what looked like brass shape like a screw, which his father threw away along the path to their house. The child even said in English to his mother, "Nay, I've got something." After that, he pounded the screw-like bullet, and it exploded, hitting his hand, and he was rushed to the hospital. Many of those interviewed attest to the fact that many more unexploded bombs are scattered in their villages that served as bombing ranges. He also knew of 3 families that were hit by assault rifles in Nagsasa, a target range of the U.S. Navy in San Antonio. Many died, including a pregnant woman. Eduardo Gutierrez was a security guard for Clark Air Base, assigned at the Crow Valley bombing and gunnery range installation for more than 19 years. He is also a resident of the area and thus very knowledgeable about the impact of the bombing range on his neighbors. Amelia, a community leader of the Organization of Victims, SAUP, meaning help, who has a record that contains an initial list of 60 victims in the barrio of Santa Ignacia near Crow Valley. The Philippine case is still far from being resolved. After 20 years of the closure of the bases, the U.S. continued to deny responsibility because the U.S.-Philippine Military Bases Agreement that it signed in 1947 lacked any provision on environmental protection. However, denial of its responsibility also ignores the U.S. core values of fairness and justice. The Bayanihan Foundation, in partnership with the Alliance for Bases Cleanup and other partners, appeal to all Filipino Americans and others to join us in this struggle for fairness and justice on this very important and almost forgotten issue.
My